Okay, today I'm going to show you guys how to make a very expensive, or how to wrap a very inexpensive gift for the holidays or for hostess gifts using beauty products that you love but still keeping it affordable. And what I'm going to be using are the Mark Cleanup Time conditioning bath soaps, which I've showed you guys these before, and I've been using these in the bath and I really like them a lot. And so whenever I find something that I really enjoy, I like to share that with other people. So I'm going to be using those. I'm going to be using this pack of washcloths that I got at Walmart for, a very inexpensive amount. I have some yarn. You can really use any kind of anything to at this stage to wrap it, anything that you think looks pretty or catches your eye, because this is just to decorate with. And I'm also going to be using this pack of miniature ornaments that I probably purchased. I think the entire pack was probably $1 or less. Okay, so the first thing that you can do is, just because you purchase an item and it comes packaged like this does not mean you have to gift it like this. This package actually has 3 soaps in it, and I'm using this. I have a Christmas party to go to this evening, and with my girlfriends, and we get together every year and we do one big gifts exchange, and then we usually still give each other all small gifts. And so I need 3 gifts to give, and there happens to be 3 bars of soap that comes in this package. So I'm going to divide these up. Each person is going to get an individual soap, which these happen to be wrapped individually very nicely anyway, so that's perfect. So I'm going to take the first one, and I'm going to take the washcloths. Because it's soap, I want to give a gift that kind of makes sense to be given along with soap. If you were doing a beauty bar of some sort, you could easily give maybe a loofah, but with a beauty bar you could give washcloths as well. So obviously this has multiple colors. Well, I'm doing this for a Christmas party, so I am going to be using Christmas colors. So I'm going to be using the red, I'm going to use the green, and I'm going to use this kind of cream off-white color. Okay, so let me take just a moment, and I'm going to separate these. Okay, and there happens to be 2 of each color. Now you can do this however you'd like. If you want to use one, it may depend on how big the item is that you're wrapping, but this is going to be our actual sort of wrapping paper, if you will. If the item is a little bit bigger, you might want to pair up 2 of these together, or you may just decide you want to do that for, for the effect of it. But we're basically just going to be encasing the soap inside the washcloth. And so what I think I'm going to do is let's see how thick they are if I double them up. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a green one. Now make sure the tag is on the inside. And one of the cream. And I'm going to kind of make the cream one a little bit catty corner, so you get a little hint of the cream sticking out of the top of the gift package. And I'm going to place the soap in the middle. And before I even get started, I'm going to cut off some of the yarn. Okay, so I'm going to take a length of ribbon, and this happens to be, if you can see, it's very thin, but it has these little kind of spindles coming off. And so I'm probably going to wrap it around the gift a few times. And so I'm going to pull off quite a bit of length so that I can kind of wrap it around a few times. And you can always trim off any excess off the ends if you feel like you have too much. And I'm just going to give that a little cut with scissors. And I'm also going to choose one of my ornaments. Okay, so I think I'll pick a little angel. And I'm just going to pull this up so that it's like a little purse, like this. And you can see that the colors come out quite nicely. And before I wrap, I'm going to go ahead and slide this little angel on. Now, if you want to do gift tags, this is the time that you should go ahead and attach your gift tag. So we're just going to slide this over the top, and she's just going to be dangling from this. If you want to, you can take this and tie it in a knot tighter. But I think because this is such a thin rope, and as we wrap it around, this will end up hanging quite nicely on the front. But if you want it to be closer to the yarn, you can just, instead of looping this over the top, you can just take the string and tie a knot around the yarn. Okay, so I'm just going to slide her towards the middle, and I'm going to take my purse, and I'm just going to start wrapping this around. And I'm going to wrap it around quite a few times, so it doesn't have to be neat. But do kind of pull it a little bit tight just to hold the purse shut. And if you want it to be a little bit thinner, then instead of using 2 pieces, just use the one. And I'm going to take this piece and wrap it around the other way. And just wrap it around until you have enough. And we're going to tie a little knot in it or a little bow in it, whichever you'd rather. I'm going to do a little bow and we'll see how the bow looks. And if I feel like the bow's messy, then I just undo it and I do a knot instead. Okay, and then you're just going to slide her around so that she's kind of in the middle. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the piece that has the little yarn, and I'm just going to pull her up a little bit higher so she sits a little higher. And you can actually just take this and tuck it in, it'll stay. If you want to tuck it in here, she'll stay up a little bit higher. And there you go. So I'm going to go and I'm going to do 2 more of these. I'm going to be using probably I will take maybe a red and cream, and then I probably will do one with green and one with red, like that. Okay, so I'll be right back to show you all of the finished gifts. Okay, so here we have my 3 finished little gift packages. And what would I do differently if I were doing this for a different holiday, or maybe in the summertime or the spring? One thing is that obviously I would change the colors of the washcloths to suit whatever season. You know, in the spring, probably nice bright colors or pastels. The ribbon that I tied it with, or the yarn that I tied it with, you can really change that out for anything. If you use whatever you have, if you have ribbon at home, If you have butcher's twine at home, if you have raffia, use whatever you want. In the spring, what I would probably do is I would probably use hair bands, hair elastics, and wrap the elastics around it. And then instead of an ornament, I probably would get a hair clip that has a flower, like a little bit of a larger flower on it, and just slide the hair clip onto the elastic. And that way they have something not only to cleanse themselves with, they have the washcloth, but then they have the hair tie and the flower to hold their hair back, while they're bathing. But really, you can use anything. Be as creative as you want. You can attach anything that you want. You can tie it off with anything that you want. And really, I happen to use a washcloth because these are body soaps. But think about other options for what you might use to wrap it with. Maybe you would use a nice scarf, or like a handkerchief would be beautiful as well. Really anything. If you can fold it up and tie it off in some way, you can use it for the external part of the package. So just be creative. I really like to do this because I like to have items that every part of the package is something that they can use. The ornament, obviously, they can put on their tree or hang from a plant or whatever they want to do with it. Washcloths are usable and soap is usable. And to me, the most heartfelt gifts are gifts that are something that you really enjoy yourself, that you'd like to share with your friends, and then something that they can really use all parts. The yarn, they can even reuse the yarn in their own creative ways. So just be creative and use what you have. Save yourself some money. Be inexpensive. It doesn't have to be expensive to be beautiful and to be heartfelt. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. And I hope everyone is having a happy holiday season.